And welcome everyone to another episode of the Freshman podcast, another Saturday morning edition of it. I'm here with my co-host.
Virtual Wick, aka James.
I'm your Chris and we're going to be discussing a lot on today's episode. Finally, let's go.
Yeah, it's not gonna be short. It's gonna be decently long this time.
Okay. But first on today's episode, news recently coming out that Army in next year is going to be moving to the American Athletic Conference to leave only three independent teams remain. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of questions, but they have already answered with a few interesting things with their rivals Navy. Okay, so the Army and Navy game will still happen. But if the two teams meet in the conference championship game, then that game will still take place. Both the conference championship and the Army Navy game, but the Army Navy game will be played as a non-conference game if the two teams meet in the championship for their conference. So, what are your thoughts on that arrangement? Do a bit more research, I see.
Yeah, I have time to do research. So this,
So you got a really weird arrangement with this thing with Army and Navy. It's already like hard being like in the same same conference because I don't know if they'll play in the regular season. Like I mean technically okay technically they already do, but I'm talking about like as a conference game like mid season. That might be interesting to say the least. Doing a little bit more research. Okay, but what are your okay again? Hello.
so yeah,
I
four
was trying to give
football
you all the
games
information.
and four football games against Army Napoleon. Napoleon is his first name.
What? Okay. Oh wait. What are you searching?
I searched Army's move to the McCullen injury. That's what I searched.
American.
Forgot American.
Okay. Try searching Army to the AAC.
Army to the A.
AAC for American Athletic Conference.
Oh, they're joining it.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we're trying to get at.
Okay, yeah, I think it's good to join it. I mean,
I mean, now y'all
that's
now y'all actually
cool.
have guaranteed now y'all actually have guaranteed games that are already scheduled for you, which is very tough being an independent. Not only because independents, other than Notre Dame, are usually bad. There are
Yes,
average to bad, average at best. But also, I mean, if you're scheduling like big teams, you're basically guaranteeing those big teams to win, but you're also guaranteeing yourself a lot of money to hopefully help you. Okay, that's usually the thing with average and bad teams. But now, Army, who knows how that move will go for the Black Knights?
yeah.
Yeah. So, so next order of business. Um, okay, so let's talk about Grayson McCall's injury now. As of course, I'm pretty sure some people know. My clip of Grayson McCall's injury actually made it onto articles of Yahoo Sports.
Yeah.
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 So it was
Yeah.
Yeah. So he got injured in the early fourth quarter game against Arkansas State. Yeah. So Grayson McCall, the quarterback for Coastal Carolina, kept the ball. He was sliding down. He was sliding and Arkansas State defender Trevian Thomas came up, made helmet-to-helmet contact. It was not called that though. But yeah, he was down on the ground for approximately 11 minutes before, for, 10 to 11 minutes before he was carted off the field in the stretcher.
Yeah. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, he is. He's moving. I think he maybe even practicing just a little bit, but I'm not sure if he's going to play today when they take on Marshall, which is weird. A weird kickoff time. 6 Eastern on the NFL Network.
You
Yeah, college
16.
football on NFL Network. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Coastal Carolina, they're hosting Marshall this week. Um, and usually games on NFL, college football games on NFL Network start at 7 Eastern, but this one is starting at 6 Eastern. Wonder why. Yeah, but really hope for his safety, hope for his recovery to go well, and actually maybe even get like a few snaps today against Marshall. Um, probably not run with it though. Mainly probably like passing. But yeah, he's still questionable for today's game.
Yeah. Yeah. He's still.
Okay, so our next order of business is. Oops, sorry. I gotta get back over here. Okay, so next order of business is Oklahoma versus Kansas. One of the games of the week. Despite Oklahoma being ranked number 6 in the country and Kansas being unranked, Oklahoma is only an 8-point favorite to win.
Yeah. That's. Yeah. It's only a.
Yeah, only
Uh,
an 8-point favorite to win this game, which I'm actually a bit surprised by that.
yeah. With
Yeah,
people. I,
yeah,
I'm
like
done.
okay, who are you going with for that game?
I mean, I was really surprised with they said about Oklahoma. I mean, they think they. I mean, the odds for it. It's a big 12 title favorite.
I
So
mean,
like,
I was expecting at least like maybe a 12-point favorite, but 8 points. I mean, Kansas might actually have a chance, and they're also hosting a big noon kickoff in Lawrence, there where the game is being played, Lawrence, Kansas.
they might have a chance, but
But if
they
it's
got to do
yeah,
a lot.
they have to pull off a massive upset. Um, and some people are riding with Kansas. But I'm going to ride with Oklahoma. Despite the odds that they put here, I'm going with Oklahoma here.
Yeah, me too. We always go Oklahoma. Let's go Oklahoma.
Okay.
I don't know what that was, but
Okay.
okay.
Well. All right. So. Okay. Yeah. So Dylan Gabriel versus. Okay. Give me a second. Because I always confuse like Daniels and Jalen Daniels, or something like that. I don't know. I always confuse the two quarterbacks between Kansas and LSU because they both have similar names, very similar names. Jalen Daniels. Okay, so Jalen Daniels. Wait, hang on. Yeah, Jaden Daniels is LSU. Jalen Daniels is Kansas. Okay, I always confuse the two. Okay, but Jalen Daniels, and the Kansas Jayhawks are trying to pull off a massive upset versus Dylan Gabriel and the Oklahoma Sooners with backup quarterback General Booty. Yes, that's his name.
Well, if it's his name, hope no offense. I hope he didn't get
But you're gonna
bullied
go
a
with
lot when he was a
Oklahoma just
kid.
because of that.
Hope he didn't get bullied when he was a kid.
All right,
Probably
so
did though. Doesn't really
okay,
mean people.
all right,
So I'll
so
continue.
all right, so next order of business is Oregon. By the way, I'll be streaming in that game, Oklahoma versus Kansas. Originally, I was gonna do Old Dominion versus James Madison, but unfortunately I don't have time for that. But I do have time in the morning for Oklahoma Kansas. It's a last minute switch that literally made like a few minutes right before the podcast was about to start. Yeah, but here's the game that you'll be streaming, right? Sorry, Oregon versus Utah.
Uh, yeah, I'll stream it. Yeah, this one I'll stream.
Okay, so the Oregon Ducks, ranked number 8th in the country, and Utah, ranked number 13th in the country, both with one loss. This may come as a surprise, um, but I think, well, on here, I think uh, Utah can pull off the upsets versus Oregon. They're both 6-1, 3-1 in conference play. Oregon is a 6.5 point favorite to win, and I'm going with Utah.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Utah too.
Um, yeah, okay.
I mean, I
Looking at
know.
Oregon,
I mean,
looking
I
at
know
Oregon.
it's.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know it's. You picked it, but I just feel like it'll win. And I have some variety sometimes, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So Bo Nix actually, with Oregon's previous game versus Washington State, set an NCAA record for most career starts with 54. 54 career starts.
54?
Yes, 54 games where he's the starting quarterback. That sets an NCAA record for Bo Nix. But he's Oregon's main guy and actually tied for seventh with Caleb Williams in the Heisman race. Yeah,
Dang, that's a
again,
lot of.
I think the Utes can pull off the upset. Um, I mean, Bo Nix. I mean, like Caleb Williams, Michael Penix. They were the like a few weeks ago. They were the two front runners. Now it's Michael Penix and J.J. McCarthy of Michigan. But okay, so Michael Penix. Okay, he's still number one. On the Heisman race, quarterback for Washington. But Caleb Williams is now tied for seventh with Bo Nix, and Caleb Williams, quarterback for USC. Yeah, by the way, now we're talking about the Heisman race. Kind of.
Okay, the Heisman race.
Caleb Williams over the past few weeks, he has struggled, which is why he fell in the rankings. Do you think it was fair for him? It's fair for him to drop all the way to seven?
Fair to drop all the way to 7?
Or like, what rank do you think he should be at?
Well, I don't know that, but I don't know if it's really
Okay,
fair, but
look. Okay, part of the reason why he also dropped in the rankings is because he lost. Yeah. Yeah. Over the few weeks between ESPN and Fox's Heisman rankings. He's lost a couple of times, so that's also contributing to why. I don't know about seventh.
Mm,
I mean, sure, struggling and losing, but seventh, I would expect maybe fifth. Still
yeah,
top
I
five in the
mean
Heisman
seventh,
race. Yeah, he's
kind of
tied for
low.
yeah tied for seventh with Bo Nix of Oregon.
Mm, yeah, I think he should be.
Yeah, top five,
Uh,
top five.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he should be in top five. I feel like I don't, but it just stuff happens.
Okay, and now let's actually talk about the rest of people in the Heisman ranking. So first place is Michael Penix Jr., quarterback for the Washington Huskies, and tied for second, Dylan Gabriel of Oklahoma, and JJ McCarthy of Michigan. Both okay. The entirety of the top 10 list is just quarterbacks. Okay, so at number four, Jordan Travis for the Florida State Seminoles, Jaden Daniels for LSU, Drake May for North Carolina, Tiber Seventh Bonix, and Caleb Williams, we just talked about. Carson Beck for Georgia, um, and then Jalen Milrow of Alabama. Okay, tied for 10 are okay. Five quarterbacks are for 10. Are tied for 10th place. So Milrow of Alabama, Quinn Ewers of Texas, Blake Corum of the running back from Michigan, Drew Aller, the quarterback for Penn State, and then Kyle McCord, the quarterback for Ohio State. Wow, five people tied for number 10.
Mm,
How often do you see that?
not very often.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. Um, yeah, but of those, okay, since Caleb Williams fell like to seventh, I'm starting to. Actually, I don't think he's going to win the Heisman anymore. I think my pick now will probably go to either it's going to be a tie. It's three quarterbacks I have in mind: Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, or Jordan Travis. I think those three are going to be the front runners for me. So I think either one of those three will win the Heisman this year. Yeah, so, do you have any like ranks do you want to that you want to change besides Caleb? Are you putting Caleb Williams in the top five? Are there here? I'll send you the link to it. Yes, I sent you the link to it through messages. But do you think that there could be any changes to like rankings in the Heisman race?
I mean, maybe, but do you think most of their rankings are fair? Except
Yeah,
for,
yeah. Besides Caleb Williams, yes, I think the rest of them are fair. I think the rest of them are
yeah,
fair.
I think it was a pretty good job at
Yeah, but yeah,
ranking, except
yeah.
for
With
Caleb
Fox's
Williams.
projection, with Fox's
Mm,
projections. But again, Caleb Williams, I think should still be in the top five. Honestly. All right, next order of
yeah.
business. We are not done talking about games yet. Um, Georgia versus Florida. The I forgot the name of the rivalry, but number one in the country versus unranked. Game's kicking off 3:30 p.m. Eastern, live on CBS, which is 2:30 our time, James. Yes. So oh, I'm looking at the wrong game. Georgia, a 14-point favorite, so I'm going with Georgia. Georgia 7-0, Florida 5-2. I'm going with Georgia easily. Who are you going with?
I mean, hmm, they started up. Georgia got set. Oh my god, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry. Oh,
I lost my train of thought. Uh, yeah. Like you said, they're starting off pretty good right now, Georgia. So,
yeah. So 7 and
um,
0. 14-point favorite to win. So we're both going with Georgia.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
So
seems
and
like
then let's talk about the rest of the games. Okay. For top 25. Um, Florida State versus Wake Forest. Florida State ranked number 4 in the country, 7-0. Wake Forest 4-3, unranked. Florida State a 20 and a half point favorite to win. Kicks off 12 p.m. Eastern on ABC. I'm going with Florida State.
mm,
Yeah,
what was it again?
I'm going with Florida State. Florida State versus Wake Forest.
I mean, I always go with Florida most of the time. Anything they're against or they do. So, I'm a Florida fan. I like Florida.
Yeah, okay. Fan of
I'm a Florida fan.
a fan of a lot of different teams. I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
Okay. So
Florida.
we already did Oklahoma, Kansas, Indiana versus Penn State. Penn State 6-1, ranked number 10 in the country. Indiana 2-5, unranked. It kicks off 12 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Penn State 31-point favorite to win, so we're going with Penn State.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penn State. Okay. Next. Okay, so Texas versus BYU. Texas ranked number 7, 6-1, 20-point favorite against BYU, who is 5-2 and unranked. 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Texas. Texas.
Texas.
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah. Okay. So Notre Dame, ranked number 14 in the country. 6-2, 20 and a half point favorite against Pitt, who is 2-5 and unranked. 3:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC. I'm going Notre Dame.
Versus the NBC.
Okay. Notre Dame hosting Pitt. Notre Dame ranked number 14th in the country, 6-2, taking on Pitt, who is 2-5 and unranked. Notre Dame is a
Notre Dame.
20 and a half point favorite.
I mean,
Notre Dame.
what else would be the answer?
Okay.
What else would
Oh,
be?
here's an exciting top 25 matchup, which actually, it's taking place at the same time as Oregon, Utah. Is not going to be as exciting. Duke, ranked number 20th in the country, taking on Louisville, who's ranked number 18th in the country. Louisville is a 6-point favorite to win, but I'm going with Duke to upset Louisville.
Ooh.
Yeah, Louisville, the Louisville Cardinals.
You chose Duke?
Yeah, I'm choosing Duke to upset Louisville.
Mm, this one, I
Who
mean,
who are you going with?
Duke.
You're going with Duke to upset Louisville, or we're
Mhm.
just because Louisville
I
sucks.
think they might, but I'm gonna have to go with some.
You're,
You know,
you're gonna have to go with Louisville.
yeah. If they upset, I'll be fine with it.
Okay, it's basically what you're saying. You're going with Louisville, but you won't be surprised if Duke upsets them.
Yeah, I won't be.
Okay,
Uh,
okay,
basically what I'm saying.
okay. So next on the schedule, number 22, Tulane taking on okay 6-1, taking on Rice, who is 4-3 and unranked. 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Tulane is a 10-point favorite to win, but I'm going with Tulane.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 10-point favorite. Come on now.
Okay,
They do my
so
way.
10 or more, basically, you're going with the team that's favored.
Yeah, I mean, a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not because it's just favorited, but I just think they will win,
Yeah, okay.
and
Yeah,
also
Tulane.
the
Yeah,
favorited.
yeah, Tulane. Very good
Mhm.
team. In fact, a few weeks ago, they took on the Memphis Tigers, who held one of the longest home winning home okay game winning streaks at home one of in the top five of winning games at home in college football. Tulane came into Memphis and took them down. So they ended Memphis's home game winning streak. And I'm pretty sure
Oh,
the last
I
time
don't know what I
Memphis
was
lost
saying.
at home, uh, I think it was pre-COVID. Honestly, one of the last
I think
times,
it's because
one of the last times Memphis lost, lost at home. I think it was pre-COVID, probably in the late 2010s. I'll have to do research about that a little bit later. Um, next game, number 24 USC, who is 6-2, taking on California, who is 3-4 and unranked. USC is a 10-point favorite, and I'm going with USC.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Oh, here could be an
I don't have a
interesting.
lot of.
Sorry.
Oh wait, never mind. You can go.
Okay. Yeah. So this game can actually get pretty exciting. Number 21 Tennessee, who's sitting at 5-2, is taking on unranked Kentucky, also sitting at 5-2. Tennessee only a 3.5-point favorite to win. I'm going with Kentucky to upset Tennessee.
Ooh,
Yes, yes. Again, Tennessee, ranked number 21 in the country. Only a 3.5-point favorite to win against unranked Kentucky, and both teams have 5 wins and 2 losses. So who
you
are
know
you
what?
going with?
This isn't gonna mean anything, but do you know? Are they playing right now? They are they? I
Uh,
don't know.
they're
I'm
playing
confused.
tonight 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. That's gonna be 6 our time.
Hmm. I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I like Tennessee. I like. It's not my favorite or anything, and I don't really like them. I just like them, and also they live well. The state, the we
Yeah,
live
yeah.
pretty
So you're
close to
going with
them.
the Volunteers to win against
So
Kentucky.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. What was that? What did I just do? Okay. And okay, so the rest of the games aren't really exciting, so that will actually do it for today's episode. Finally made it to over 20 minutes in for the first time in like a few weeks.
Let's go.
Hey, so thank you guys for watching this episode of the Freshman Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and of course subscribe to us here on YouTube. Also listen to our podcast. You can also listen to our podcast right here on YouTube and YouTube Music. But again, thank you guys, and you want to sign us off?
Yeah, thank you, and have a good rest of your weekend.
And have a good rest of your game day.
And that too.